got some roadblocks up here. Let's knock them down. Hey there, Enterprisers, what's good? It's Jason Lago here again, and in this video I want to discuss with you some mental roadblocks that are jeopardizing your success. That's right, we're talking about mental roadblocks that are jeopardizing your success. We all know that we want to be successful, and the truth of the matter is success, as we know, is not always a straight line. Sometimes there is a jagged edge with regards to how you get there in your journey, right? There are distractions, there are obstacles that you have to face, many of which are external. However, with that said, a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of internal struggles and distractions as well. There's a lot of internal roadblocks, and a lot of them are mental. In this video, I want to go ahead and share with you the top 3 as I see it in my own personal journey and just helping and serving a lot of other entrepreneurs as well. I'm going to give you the top 3 mental roadblocks that I have seen that are literally jeopardizing many people's success. And then of course, we can also talk about ways to overcome them. Let's get started. Number 1, selling yourself short. Selling yourself short. And this is probably one of the most common ones that I've seen and continue to see the more that I work with entrepreneurs and marketers. The reality is most people are aware of their limits. And I think that that's wise. I think you should be cognizant of the things that you can do, are not so good at. With that said, however, I also think it's very important to not dive too deep in the realm of self-doubt. I think that you'd be very, very surprised as to your own capabilities and the extent at which you can exercise them and find yourself really proficient at something. Just because you haven't done something before, or maybe haven't had any proper training, does not mean that you won't be able to excel in that particular field, especially with time and practice. And so don't use this, it would be my recommendation, do not use this as a means of stopping you from even getting started or from moving forward slowly but surely and aggressively. Okay, you can definitely do that. But a lot of people think that just because they've never gotten in front of a video before, right? And they've never made a video, never been in front of camera. And so they say, I could never do that video marketing stuff, or I could never do that internet marketing stuff. Okay, this is a very popular example. And yet, once you give them the tools and give them a format and give them a script and tell them that it's actually not rocket science, and then with practice, it's amazing to see how far someone can come almost overnight if they're committed to it. So don't think that just because you don't have experience, like I say, or don't have training, that you can't be good at something, all right? As this applies to your business, you're gonna find that the more that you exercise, the more that you move forward, the more that you try different things, you really will iron out what you're good at and what you're not good at. With that said, make sure that you do not fall into that trap of self-doubt, of doubting your capabilities. Again, do not sell yourself short. You're capable of a lot more than you might think. Number 2, worrying what others think. Worrying what others think, okay? And this is, again, for the newbie, for the person who's just getting started, this is huge, all right? It's one of those things that actually cripples a lot of people when they're getting started, just because they're a little bit too concerned with what other people might think, you know? And when you're heading into an entrepreneurship thing and really trying to build something and try to do something different for yourself and try to make the changes and make the steps that are necessary to achieve greatness, to achieve success, it's an uncomfortable process, to say the least. And when you have not been doing that, all right, you're kind of, taking this shift and turn in your life, and other people from the outside look and see that. They're not going to necessarily understand why you're doing it, all right? A lot of them are going to be naysayers and doubters of you, okay? Don't concern yourself too much with what they think, all right? You are as you proclaim and as you act. So if you're an entrepreneur and you haven't been, but you've decided that you are now and you're doing the actions of an entrepreneur, then more power to you. You're an entrepreneur 100%, and what other people think should not matter that much, okay? Now, please don't confuse this with the concern and advice that someone who's qualified to give those words might have for you, all right? If you have a family member or a friend who's a successful business person or a successful in any field, then obviously if they're giving words of concern and guidance to you, especially if you've asked for it, I think you should consider those. But what I'm talking about are not these type of people. What I'm talking about are naysayers, doubters, like I say, and people who just don't understand, You'll see a lot of this too when maybe you're just getting started. Say the typical example would be maybe someone who's just wanting to start an entrepreneurial journey, and they line up with a company for, let's say, multi-level marketing or affiliate marketing. All right, they're getting started with the support of a company. They've never done this before. So obviously that kind of support that a lot of these networks and companies provide is definitely, it's invaluable, and it can definitely be helpful. But as a result, you'll also see some people on the outside who say, okay, well, you're just aligning yourself with a scam, or be careful because that's, some type of fly-by-night, shady business. You'll never succeed in business. You've never done anything. They don't know what they're talking about. okay? Don't let that deter you. Become successful, prove them wrong, prove yourself right, prove yourself worthy, and they won't be able to argue when they see you cashing checks. Number 3, lack of clarity on your business vision. Lack of clarity on your business vision, all right? Clarity and having vision for your business is paramount, all right? Most of the time, if you were going to travel to another country and you've never been there before, you would think about very carefully the steps that you would be taking while there and to get there, right? You'd be mapping out your entire journey, not just saying, hey, let's arrive at the destination and see how we get there and just enjoy it, And yet, this is very much the same approach that a lot of entrepreneurs take, they're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, and they're hoping that one of those things does stick, right? It's a crapshoot. They're playing roulette. They're hoping that they land the perfect business opportunity, they pick the right horse, as it were, the right traffic source, the right opportunity, the right people, the right business thing. It's just, that's not the way to do it, all right? Build your business, build it. It implies building, all right? You have to go ahead and have your own clarity of vision on how you want to get there, okay? And it's something that you have to decide. I'm working with several clients right now and helping build a little business and launch their own products. And, there's a couple of them where one in particular, this one, she's always asking, well, should I do this and should I do that? And my answer is always the same. Do you want to do it? It's your business, right? Don't let someone else tell you how to build your business, all right? If that's your vision, then you do it, right? Now, as a coach and as a consultant, of course, I can give them guidance on the best things, the best way to go about it if they already made a decision. But it can't be my choice. It can't be my decision for you to want to do this. Does that make sense? A lot of people want to be successful, but they're hoping that someone else will tell them exactly how to get there. And that's just not the way it works, right? Your path could be completely different than mine. Some people like to do paid advertising versus organic marketing. Some people want to do, Instagram as opposed to TikTok or Facebook, right? Find your fit. Do what makes sense for you, all right? But do not fall into this trap of thinking that other people can make that decision for you and vice versa, right? Just because someone has success in a particular field, doing something, any particular activity, does not mean it's going to work for you. Find your own path, right? Be clear on your vision, all right? Decide that you want to get there and decide that on how you want to get there, right? Let it be one of those things that governs your personal motives, On top of that, use data. Use actual data to determine how you're going to get there. Part of the thing in having clarity of vision on your business success is paying attention to information that draws specific conclusions for you in terms of how to get to a certain destination, right? In other words, if you are thinking, should you go ahead and go live right now on your Instagram feed, right? But you don't have any subscribers or any followers, then your message isn't going anywhere, right? It's not really conducive to that, right? The numbers don't lie. Versus if you already have an existing audience by way of your email list or maybe your Facebook or something like that. Now there is an audience there. Then yeah, should you go live with them and spread your message? Of course, it makes more sense to do that than just to say, let me hop on this Instagram or this TikTok thing because everyone else is doing it. When in truth, it doesn't make sense to you. Does that make sense? This is an example of this type of thinking, okay? Make sure that you have clarity of vision, right? So what's your vision for your business, right? And it can't just be one of those things where you're like, well, I want to be successful, I want to make money, okay? Clearly, everyone wants to do that, okay? But have the vision, be clear on it, all right? And then, of course, start figuring out clearly how to get there, and then take those steps that are necessary, and that's going to help you. Hopefully, these are helpful to you, my friends. That's it. I trust that these things were eye-opening for you in terms of clearing up your mental roadblocks, because it's true. Even the best of the best and the greatest and biggest and strongest of us marketers and entrepreneurs still have to deal with a lot of these things, all right? But hopefully in this video, we've shared a few ways that you can get around that and that you can at least become aware of these things and start moving forward. Now, make sure you give me a like, a comment, a share. The most important thing, though, as you know, is hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any more hot new content that I got coming down the pipe just for you. Now, let me also invite you, if you haven't, go ahead and click on the first link in the description, and that's my free digital freedom shortcut. It's my free ebook that shows you exactly what I did to leave the corporate lifestyle to doing what I'm doing now, having a ball, having a blast, and I couldn't be more excited and love to show you how to do the same thing. Again, that's my free gift to you. Click on it, get it, and enjoy it. I'll see you later. Take care.